I got teased out of my life. I'm the darkest person in the family. Now that I've come back home, I find that some of my other siblings are about as dark as me, but when I was growing up, I was the darkest, and so I got teased about everything. It wasn't that it was really new. I got teased about my skin color. I got teased about being always with my mama because I was a mama's boy. I got teased about going to dance class. My father, as a matter of fact, did not like it at all. And I remember getting a whipping one time because I came home from school late because I was at rehearsal. And my father was very strict, and he said, I need you in this house by a certain time. And when I tell you what that time is, you get your ass in this house. And because I wasn't in the house at that certain time, I think I got beat till I was like black and blue. The next day I didn't go to school simply because I couldn't move. So, and then when I got in school, all the boys that went to our school were in the arts, but then the guys that were bussed in and the girls that were bussed in from other schools, they were very nasty to me. Talked about who I was, talked about how black I was, and I'm trying to dance, and I was a faggot, and I was a sissy, and just so many different things that you get labeled when you become a male dancer. Now, some of that may be true, but even still, being a young boy, you know, 11, 12, 13 years old, that just kind of kills your spirit.
I see your face like a prayer. I pray each day that my heart would be whole and my soul be filled and my mind be renewed with you. With your arms open wide, I can see in my mind you there just waiting for me. I run, I walk, I fly like a bird. I swim to the sea like blue pearl, but I'm drifting away, yeah, to the river of life. Oh, to the river of life. You're my river of life. Like a tower, you're my grace. Like
It's been one of the things that I try to do is make sure that the guys that dance with me are very comfortable. I don't care if they're gay, straight, or what have you, because as long as they're acting like young men and being respectful and doing the things that's necessary to be productive members of society, and that's what we teach them, then I'm okay with it. Of course, we're going to have to deal with them being teenagers. I got 2 boys, and they drive me crazy. You know, although they're not my natural sons, they are my babies. They're my sons, and I really feel like they are mine, and these are the only 2 I'm ever going to have, because my HIV status is already just, it's going to keep me from impregnating anybody. And because I live the gay lifestyle, I'm not going to be trying to impregnate anybody. I'm really all about my business and the work and choreography, and these 2 young men, I don't know what God's vision was for me, but he put them in my life for a reason. And man, they are, sometimes they can be a headache.
I met Derek 3 years ago when I first started dancing 3 years ago. He was my modern teacher, and it was at Dallas Black. I was in the academy there, and his gift is teaching young men how to dance. Like, I've been seeing that since I've been there, but I went to do a show with them, and I was thinking, oh, I must be good because I'm already doing a show with a company, and I just started dancing. So from that show in January, I didn't think that I was going to be back. I mean, like coming back, but he ended up calling my mom. I guess he seen something in me because I really wanted to dance like my whole life. I just never knew how to get into that form of dancing. So he was calling my mom, like, you gotta bring that boy back to rehearsal. So ever since then, I've been there.
So sometimes I have to teach them how to be young men, but also how to enjoy themselves while they're young, but also have some responsibility and know these are certain people you can't hang with. When you start getting busy and doing things that are good, some people are not going to want to stick with you. Some people are going to fall off. You're going to start to see who your friends are. So for me, I didn't have too many friends, and I didn't have a whole bunch of people that I hung around because, for one, I was afraid that somebody was going to try to sexually abuse me, which is what I've been used to with my uncles and my cousins on my dad's side and one of my uncles on my mom's side. So I was afraid to be all that I could be, because I was afraid if I was just allow myself to be who I was, then somebody might think that I'm trying to come on to them, or that it was okay for them to do what it was that they were doing to me. After a little while, I got comfortable with it and expected it to happen. So I'm going over to Mama Francis' house today. So I know something's gonna happen over there. It's been abused most of my life. My mom don't like to hear it. When I first told her about how my father was abusing me, and for the life of me, I don't understand how you're being abused, you're being jumped on, and your son comes to you and tell you that this man is raping him. You start showing more love for him and not wanting to admit that this is something that could have happened. So she didn't believe me. And after a little while, I just did, like I said, just be normal in the situation. If it was going to happen, it was going to happen. A lot of times, it was my cousins and my cousins' friends, that took me off in their cars or over to their friends' houses, and my cousin would say, watch this, y'all, and then make me do different little things. And I know there are a lot of young people out here that tell the same story, but a lot of people don't believe them when they tell it. And coming from being 9 years old, drinking and drugging just so I can mask the pain, I think people should listen.
Tell me about the whole Alvin Ailey experience.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. The most wonderful experience of my life ever. And to have the opportunity to dance with Alvin as one of his pets. Everybody used to say, get that boy from in the front, because soon as he started choreographing something, I'll be right in the front and I'll be doing it and I'll be hitting everything. He said, Derek, do it like Derek, and everybody be like this. Get him from in the front. So I can't say anything but wonderful things about my experience in the Ailey Company. Most rewarding experience in my life other than my boys, and and just being able to hand off what I learned to them is just really amazing to me. I remember when I was in the Ailey company and we were in Europe. We were going from Madrid to Taormina, Italy, and oh no, from Taormina, Italy to Madrid, and we were all up that night. You know, everywhere we go, Dereque is the one who finds the club. We go hang out at the club, and I always find the drugs, of course. And so everybody's calling me, telling me, did you find out where we're going now? And I'll be like, I'm leaving as soon as the curtain go down. I'm in the cab, going to get my clothes. I'm going on to the club. By the time I got to the club, everybody else came. We done, racked up on drugs, coke, and marijuana, hashish, and all that stuff. And so we're going back to the hotel room. Everybody not ready to go to leave yet, so we're drinking and having a good time. And they always make fun of me when I get drunk, because when I get drunk, I end up in a corner somewhere, just staring or falling asleep. And this time I was in a corner staring, and they were messing with me. And one of my best friends, Stephen Smith, just kept going and going and going. And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to my room. I'm going home. I went to my room. I was going to pack my clothes, and I was so full that I fell asleep. It was time to get up the next morning, get on the bus, get on the to go to the airport and go on the plane. The dogs came when we got to the airport, and my best friend was trying to call me and tell me, if you got anything, you need to get rid of it now. And I was ignoring, just attitude, the Scorpio in me. I don't care. I don't need to hear nothing you saying. I'm going on about my business. As soon as I got to the thing, it said Passaporte, and I went. And everybody in the airport and everybody in the company, 30 dancers and 15 technicians, are looking at me going. And then there's Alvin, and he's looking at me out the side of his eye like, And so we stayed, myself and another guy ended up being at the Italian airport for 12 hours. And then finally, the guy told the guy that I was with, said, tell your friend in Italian. He understood Italian, I didn't. He said, tell your friend, don't worry about nothing, play some cards with us. He didn't come to sell nothing, so they're probably going to get him a slap on the wrist. Well, I got the slap on the wrist at the airport, but when I got back to the hotel, of course, the slap on the wrist was a lot larger. And Mary Barnett, who was the social artistic director at the time, said, come here. And I was like afraid of Mary. I was like, oh my God. And I was her favorite too. She said, you come in here, you tell me everything you had and everything you did, and Alvin wants to see you. So after I finished telling her, I had to go up to Alvin's room. And when I went up there, oh my God, I just knew I was going to lose my job. I said, okay, I won't be dancing in the Ailey company no more. Oh my God, I cannot believe it's the most devastating thing in my life. And he said, well, Dereque, you're lucky that you didn't get caught with what I got caught with. And of course, that just released everything, but for a moment, because he then later said, if I ever catch you and they come and get you off the bus or off the airplane or behind drugs, you're out of here. Do you understand that? And I said, yes, sir. He said, this time I'll give you a pass. But it never happened again. Although my drug addiction kept going, I still didn't do anything that damaged my career in the company. But I think that was one of the things that I felt was so nurturing about being in the company, because you had some people who cared about you, who generally cared about who you were as a person and wanted to see you do something and succeed. If you had talent, like I didn't know I really had. I mean, I knew I could dance, but when I went to New York, people had legs like this, feet turn out like that. They just wonderful things that I didn't have. But what I did have that they didn't have was energy. And Alvin loved that. And most of the people that I've worked with, that's one of the things they like about me is my energy. And that I'm like on 10 all the time. They're like, do you ever calm down? I'm like, no. So I can say that the most rewarding and exciting experience in my life has been dancing with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater with Alvin Ailey.
When did you get AIDS?
Oh. It's hard to say when I got AIDS, because you can't tell anybody when you got it. Well, I got the AIDS diagnosis when, I got the AIDS diagnosis about maybe 15, 20 years ago. I got the HIV, my diagnosis for HIV status in 1982, the end of 82, beginning of 83. It's very difficult for someone to say that they got that you got AIDS or you got HIV, but if you don't know who gave it to you or when you had sex, unless you kept a record and you were a virgin, and I was nowhere near a virgin when I might have been when I got it, just didn't know it because the disease lays dormant in your system.
Tell me how you reacted when you first found out you were HIV positive.
Oh my God, I was in Detroit on the road with the Ailey company. I just had a friend. I had moved, got started where when the company is off, I would move to Detroit, where my friend lived, and I went to the hospital, and the doctor said that I was HIV positive. And after they did my blood test, I went back and got the results, because we were there for like a month. I went back and got the results, and they said I was HIV positive. I told them they were lying. There's no way that I was HIV positive. I hadn't even had sex that much. I wasn't sleeping with nobody. I ain't got nothing. Y'all just made a mistake. Can we do the test again? And of course, I fell out all over the hospital, just lying and rolling all over the floor, screaming, "What, man?" Just going through. And then finally it started hitting me that, okay, you are HIV positive. There's no way you can change that, because all the other doctor visits that I went on after that, they kept saying the same thing. So I had to get in my head that it was really true. But for a long time, because I was touring with the Ailey company, I denied it. I wouldn't tell nobody. And I so wanted to be loved, and so wanted to have a relationship, and so wanted to have somebody in my life that I see all these other people. You know, you're traveling around the world and you see all these romantic places, and you're standing there by yourself, you know. And here I am, a young man that wants to have somebody in their life but just don't know how and don't know who to trust. And going, well, I'll never have this. So living in denial, not accepting the fact that you have slept with somebody, and whoever it was that you slept with has, you know, giving you the disease, giving you the package, as they would call it. So it's difficult to deal with, knowing that that I'm HIV positive with an AIDS diagnosis. But I'm grateful and I'm thankful that I'm able to get up every day. And I hate taking medicine. I'm now on probably about my 9900 medication regimen, because I denied it so much that I wouldn't take the medicine. It would make me feel a certain way, so I stopped taking the medicine. And when I stopped taking the medicine, it made my body resistant to all the different medications. Then when they do cocktails, there's several different of the same thing that you're already taking. If they have to change it, then your body's already resistant, so they have to find the one that's going to make your body start to improve. Right now, my T cells are 7. So I deal with a lot of emotion on a daily basis that a lot of people don't know about, because I'm a Scorpio, and I have a strong mind but a weak system, because love always conquers with me. If I love somebody, I'll give them 100%, but I don't get that same thing in return. Taking medicine and finding out that I was HIV positive was devastating to me. And I had to figure out how to bring myself back, because I lived in depression for quite some time. You know what? I'm very blessed. One of the reasons why I'm doing the walk and run is so that I could be able to give something back to the health center that has made me come out of my denial. They treat me like I'm family. When I don't make my appointments, they go, hello, you had an appointment today, and so we're going to schedule it for tomorrow. You need to get in here. Don't make me come and get you. Miss Pam, she'll come and get you. She don't play. She'll come and get you.
What exactly is the walk and run?
The AIDS Walk and Run, HIV and AIDS Walk and Run, we're giving 10% of the proceeds to AIDS Orange Peabody Health Center. And the Walk and Run is where people come out to Bachman Lake. You get an excerpt of the show that we're going to do at the Tears of Blood Walk the Runway Fashion Show, so that people can see what we do. We also have people to give like $100, $50 to walk or run, and we're giving out T-shirts on that day that says Happy Nia, Race for Life. And the whole walk and run is to bring awareness to HIV and AIDS in the African American community, and to also get people to come out so we can start talking about it again, because right now there's no conversation about it. And we have, I think the numbers are, and don't quote me, but the numbers are 22 to 24% of our youth that are infected today, and it's not because of being born with it, it's newly infected disease. And if they can have sex at 10 and run drugs and all that kind of stuff, then you know we need to start trying to talk about ways to do prevention. So this is to open up a dialogue for that, and how to keep our youth safe, and keep our youth safe, and keep our community growing, and bringing back family values and principles to the community of the African American people.
If you had to name the devil in your life, the biggest devil in your life.
Me. Because I allow a lot of, because I allowed a lot of different things to happen in my life that I could have controlled. And I also found the easy way out, which was going to drugs and getting high. I had a choice, and I made the choice to cover my pain with drugs and alcohol, and end up after being raped and abused when I was younger, ended up picking young men that I fell in love with that were abusive. I've not had one that has not been abusive, and I have to run from. Right today, I'm running from somebody that I don't want to see me. See, I have sides. I have the Scorpio stinger side. And that's the side that I'm not trying to hear nothing you say. And once you rub me wrong, it's all, I don't care what you say. I don't care how you try to protect me or protect yourself. I'm still going to do something. The ego Scorpio is the one that sits back and I love very hard and love very deep. And sometimes I take a lot of abuse mentally so that I won't have to feel the fact that you're rejecting me. So the devil is me. I've been doing drugs since I was 9 years old. It's nothing to laugh at. It's just funny that you would ask me a question like that, because all my life has been filled with drugs to mask the pain, to keep from going through a lot of the things that I was going through when I was younger, watching my mom be beat by my father day in and day out, going to school and coming back home and finding that the edge of the bathroom sink is broke because he smashed her face into it. And then feeling guilty, I did even more drugs because I couldn't protect my little sisters. There was 3 of us. There's 6 of us by my mom, but 2 are by another man, and they don't have the same father as me and my little sister. So we were the 3 or 4 that lived at home. My other brother and sister lived with my mom's mother, my grandmother, and they got everything, and to me we got nothing. But the girls got, and I didn't, because that was my father's pride and joy. His name is Melvin. Their names are Melanie, Melva, and Marva, and then there's Dereque. So I went through a lot when I was younger, feeling left out and feeling like I wasn't a part of the family, not understanding where I fit in, and I still feel that way sometimes now. But I know I have my dance company, and that dance company is put together so that we could try to bring some awareness to HIV and AIDS, self-actualizing, domestic violence, and substance abuse, all of which I've dealt with through my 54 years of life. And it's not all been pretty, but I've had some wonderful people, Alvin Ailey, people in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who felt like my talent and who I was on the inside was very important and very good, and good enough that they wanted to spend the time with. So.
Don't know what the Lord has done for me. You don't know.
I started learning how to build Happy Meal through Deeply Rooted as an associate artistic team member in Chicago with Gary and Aika, who I've been knowing for 30-some years, in New York, and dancing with the Ailey Company, dancing with Cleo Parker Robinson. Happy NIA means HIV and AIDS prevention, protecting yourself. NIA is purpose. And what we do is we build artistic opinion and expression around HIV and AIDS, domestic violence, substance abuse, and self-actualizing. Teaching the youth about how to make healthy choices and how to be able to get their peers in their community to understand that if we work together, we can make a difference and we can change the cycle that keeps going where we keep spiraling down further and further, making bad choices as it relates to our health. So we talk about prevention, we talk about presenting it as it is, truthfully and factfully, and as it is, so that we can see it. A lot of black people don't like to see problems with them. They don't want another stigmatism against them. So they sweep it under the rug, or should I say we sweep it under the rug and we walk all around it, and we say bring it to the Marley. That means the dance floor is the Marley, so you bring your dance, you bring your theater, you bring your song, you bring everything to the Marley, and HIV and AIDS is one of those things that we deal with on the Marley.
Okay, how are you as an instructor or a teacher?
Sorry. Well, I guess you would have to ask my students that. I think some of them think that I'm a good instructor. Some of them say that I do the most. And I guess what by I do the most is I'm always fussing. I always have something to say. And some of them think that I just fuss too much for no reason at all.
Is he a perfectionist?
Oh yeah. He is a perfectionist. He gets really disappointed and really aggravated when he's like in crunch time and show time. He's a crazy guy. he's a little crazy when it gets to be showtime and stuff, and when he wants things to go right and he wants to impress, a crowd or whomever he's trying to impress. He always tries to leave a statement and a positive statement. So yeah, he's a perfectionist.
I'm still kind of new to dance, so I don't know like everything about technique, but I was just thinking like everything was pretty, dance is pretty and just flowy, but he brings something else to it. Like it comes from a different place. And to see him dance is actually seeing him dance in rehearsal is what inspired me to keep coming back, and seeing the other dancers, like watching us all grow together. It was amazing. I could see how hard he was on us. He'll tell us we not Dolly Dinkle and all of this stuff. Like he made it clear that we wasn't like other companies, which we are not at all. On a technical level, we're not, but people they draw to us because he makes sure we get his messages across through dancing. If we're not doing it right, he'll show us and do it better than us. And I'll be like, well, why don't you just do this part? It's amazing.
Any other teacher can teach you the steps and the dance and different types of technique and stuff, but he actually teaches you a story behind everything. It's always something behind what he's teaching you that's more meaningful when you're learning. To me it is, because I always like to dance with a story instead of just, oh, I know this step, oh, I know that step. So Dereque is just like my dance daddy.
They really haven't seen me dance, really. Hopefully they'll have that opportunity before I leave.
I feel like he'll be here. I really do, and I really hope and pray he is, because it's kind of like, I don't know what I would do without him. He's just like a great part of me, like, and he's a part of my family now. I can call him when I need to. Any other teacher doesn't just call and check up on me, and I call and check up on them, and I don't know, like nobody would be able to replace Dereque. But he's not going nowhere. And I'm going to tell him next time he say he is, I'm popping him. Because he's not going nowhere.
What kind of mark do you want to leave on this world?
What kind of mark do I want to leave on this world?
What do you want people to say when they talk about you?
That I was a damn good dancer, a damn good actor, and a damn good director. And that we put on damn good shows. The mark I want to leave is a mark of perseverance, integrity, and diplomacy.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
To be quite honest, I don't see myself here in the next 5 years, but if I am, I see myself with a company that's as big as the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater.
Every day I see your face like a prayer. I pray each day that my heart would be whole and my soul be filled and my mind be renewed with you. With your arms open wide, I can see in my mind you there, just waiting for me. I run, I walk, I fly like a bird. I swim to the sea, like blue pearl, but I'm drifting away, yeah, to the river of life. Oh, to the river of life. You're my river of life. Like a tower, you're my grace. Like a shield, fill every place. Surround me with angels, from angels above. I stand on the mountaintop, showing your love. Glory around you is all on my head. Cleanse me from everything I've done, everything I said. I walk, I run, I swim to the sea. I fly like a bird, like the eagle with wings, and I fly to your arms, deep down inside, and I fly to your arms, 'cause you're my river of life. My river, you're the river of my life. My river, yeah. I fly to the river. I run to the ocean sea. I'm overflowing in me. Oh, the songs that I hear inside of me. River, yeah, soul. And I run to the ocean. I swim over sea to the river of my destiny, to the place where I'll be safely in your arms tonight, 'cause you're the river of life. what the Lord has done for me. You don't know what the Lord has done for me. Now you don't know, you weren't there. You don't know when and you don't know where. You really don't know what the Lord has done for me. You don't know how the Lord has set me free. Ooh, yeah, you don't know how the Lord has set me free. I tell you, you don't know. You weren't there. You don't know when and you don't know where. You don't know how the Lord set me free. I'm free, I'm free